Hey guys, Sandy here, and I am up with a Throwback Thursday for my Disney album of 2012. This is when I went on a solo trip. So 2012 was a hot year for me in Walt Disney World. I actually had an annual pass. We took a trip of just my husband and I. We took a family trip. I did a couple solo trips. I tagged along for a business trip down to Florida with my husband and went to Disney. So, I mean, Disney, all kinds of Disney going on. All right, so here is the first page. It's the title page. I haven't finished it yet. I was scrapbooking with somebody and started this, but never finished the title page. This is also when I was washing up a lot of the edges, just because the manufacturer part drove me crazy. So anyway, we're starting off with this page. No photos whatsoever. Just talking about my flight and how I paid for it instead of flying standby, because it was the new Fantasyland preview and I did not want to run the risk of not making it, guys. Like, can't run the risk of that. So just like this is a whole album for a 2-day trip. It's literally the 3rd to the 4th. So bear with me. So here's just another page. And I didn't really use any Disney themed, well, I have some theme stuff in here, but this wasn't an album where I used like the theme embellishments. I kind of wanted to see if I could pull a Disney album together without using Disney papers. So here's just another, just showing where I stayed, which was the All-Star Music. This is some of the Tim Holtz, what is that stuff called? Grunge board letters, which I still have a ton of. I've hoarded it. Then one thing I like to do is to just put, you get one of these when you stay on a Disney resort, just letting you know what's going on, the fun things you can do at the resort. And I just throw it in a page protector and place it in my album. And here's 6x6 pages in one of the Project Life page protectors. See, I do have a couple Disney themed elements. Then just more 6x6 and just like little snippets. Like each 6x6, it's like a mini 6x6 layout on a 12x12 page, and these are just little snippets of each part. So here is just some documents, like that's what it is. And then on the other side, looks like stuff is falling out of the folder. This is actually a folder, okay. It says this might have been the quickest trip ever. I arrived at 8:35 a.m. on the 3rd and left at 8 p.m. on the 4th. So seriously, quick trip. And still more pictures of my room, and this is just documenting the Mickey towels that happened. And these are Project Life cards that I cut to place in. Here's just a photo of Magic Kingdom and the Times guides. Then some more Project Life style. And for the show, I got some poor pictures. The princes and their princesses are not even looking out like they aren't looking at us. We're seeing their back. So what I decided to do was have them face Mickey and Minnie, so it looks like they're facing them. Now, this Mickey patch I have had since I was probably about 12 years old. It's a long time, and I finally threw it on the layout. So here we actually start getting into New Fantasyland when it was still called New Fantasyland. And this is just the Mine Train, which is the roller coaster, which wasn't ready at the time. And then over here, just little bits and pieces. This is the Little Mermaid section. You know, you have Prince Eric's castle here and Ariel's grotto and just the under the sea ride. And the theming was awesome. Like, I was really impressed with the theming. So as you can see, I have like a whole bunch of colors and like just a lot of fun things going on. And then over on this one, what I tried to do was do my pocket page with all the same color on the background and just have colors up front. It didn't turn out as fantastic as I would have liked, but I threw in the bell there so that she would be some Disney theming. These guys keep falling out of this pocket. So this is Gaston's Tavern, and this is LeFou's Brew. As much as I like LeFou's Brew, it doesn't even compare to Butterbeer over at Universal. It's got to be the best thing ever. So here are some photos of Enchanted Tales with Belle. Now, normally this would have been the first page and this would have been the second because this is the outside and it's introducing you to the experience. But I had to do it this way because of the page protector that I had already used. And I'm fine with that. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Then over here we have Maurice's cottage, and it's just a couple more angles from and closer up. And then pictures of inside Maurice's cottage. And I gotta say, when I went for this preview, there were a lot of people, but it is nowhere near what the experience is when you're just going there and there's a ton of people around. It was just for annual pass holders, and then it was just obviously the annual pass holders that actually made it. So we got to go into Be Our Guest restaurant early, which was fantastic. It was like a soft opening for us, and I just took pictures of the various things. I think it's amazing because some of the things that are set up here are not there anymore, or it's different. So here I got the cupcake or the cream puff and French onion soup just as a little snack. I didn't go for a whole meal. Then little snippets of each part inside the restaurant. And then there was actually 3 huge tile roses on the floor, and the center tile was missing some of the tiles. So I actually just took a picture of the one on the right because it was a complete and full tile on the floor, but this is completely gone now. None of these tiles are on the floor here. And then here are just more snippets of the artwork and stuff that are all over. I think I took a picture of every single thing that was on the wall. Okay, then we have the West Wing, where we have the Enchanted Rose and the picture that Beast slashes through, and purple, which I thought was appropriate for that. Then back to Main Street USA, and it's just how much I love Main Street USA, especially with the fall Disney theming. And then, of course, you guys, the Grand Floridian is my favorite Disney resort ever. I just love it there. My husband and I spent our 10-year anniversary there and also our 14th anniversary there. It's just beautiful. And then this was when they were building the DVC, Disney Vacation Club, which we haven't stayed in that part. But I just felt like I needed to document this because even if we don't stay at the Grand Floridian, we always take pictures of it. Now here are just some things like my key to the world before they had magic bands, my new Fantasyland armband that allowed me to be in there, and then some paper fast passes. And then my Magical Express, and it says bye. And this was back when I was covering up everything. So this has like Becky Higgins Project Life written on here, and I covered it up with this label. just because when I first started using these 12 by 12 ring binders, Creative Memories, I used Creative Memories albums exclusively before that, and they were going through their closing bankrupt, we're not really Creative Memories thing, so I switched over to binders. And the one thing that really bothered me was all the theming. Like, this has Becky Higgins written on it, and that's why this is covered up. So I always cover up these guys. That's why I have washi tape on here, because I don't, like, I didn't want the advertisement in my album. And, see, some of them still have it. But that was back when I was covering everything up, so that's why that is there. So this was my shortest trip ever. 2 days, which I still have to do that title, and 1 complete album. Thanks so much for watching, guys.